Hello, 2D Animate. Welcome to video 2, where we get started drawing on our animation, our reference drawing. So first things first, what we're going to do is we have our reference image locked here, and we are going to go ahead and add a new layer. And we are going to start with the head. The head is a first piece to our drawing that we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we are going to start with outlines first, and then add fills, shadows, and highlights later. But we want to outline everything so that we have the opportunity to create fills. And you can later decide stylistically that you don't want the outline, or if you're really interested in keeping an outline, making sure to set up your brushes so working in a way that you enjoy the out you're creating. Not sure which direction I'm going to go. I'm going to start with an outline and I'm going to see. So basically what I like to use for outlining is either the pencil tool, the classic brush tool, the pen tool, or the shape tool. So you can create an outline. Let me just make sure I'm at a fill, and I'm working with a stroke size 6 and I have a taper set. So I could start with a shape and use my selection tool to kind of push and pull my shape around, right? And until I get it where I feel like it's following the shape of my head. I might put an extra point in there. Oops. Point in right there. So we can actually go back out so I can get the subselection tool here and add an additional point in here by going to my add anchor point so that it doesn't move that spot. And a little bit too far in. And sometimes when you're working with this pen tool, snap a line, snap to God's, these snapping options so that you can kind of move it around freely and it's not like there and finesse that a little bit, right, to get my, and we're going to draw all the way up, even though I have a hairline here, we're going to draw all the way up because our hair is going to go on top of it, worried about and aligned correctly. We are actually, I have an ear, so I'm gonna attach ear to my head because obviously our ear moves around with our head. With the pen tool for this. And like I said, draw, check out here. Let me zoom up a little bit. Feels really good for you. So if the line work feels like it's working for you, like if you're using that pencil tool and you're really um, feeling like it's working well, then use that. I'm pretty comfortable with the pen tool, so I'm gonna use that. Right now, I'm actually, if you click, you can turn the pen quite quickly without it creating a secondary curve. So see how I've got two handles here? If I click right on the point here, it'll stop those handles. And the less points you make, the more smooth draw up there. And at the very end, I'm going to meet up line to line. Make sure I'm hitting that line. And then I can take my selection. Oops, I'm on sub selection. My selection tool. And I can pull up. Actually, that point right there. That's not necessary. I got this one shading, so I've got my enough space for it to take up. And all right, I'd keep on it. Um, and like I can even come in here if I want just a section of my line more narrow. I can come in here and say four, right? And it'll make it me some little bit own aesthetic guidelines, like what you like. Or and then I'm actually going to come into this ear since this is going to be attached as well. Come here, use my list and draw in some of my ear shapes. Oops. It's like annoying because it's not. I think I'll just. Okay, so I'm just messing with that drawing out actually. And then if I want, oops, let me get my slide. I can come in. I'm just gonna hold down shifts. And I'm gonna be to detail line. I don't want those to be really obvious. And I have my head pretty good. I might do a little bit of finessing here. Last thing I want to check is I want to go ahead and grab my paint bucket tool. And I'm just going to grab any random color right now. But I am just going to make sure boop, that I have filled properly. Yeah, that looks like a good fill. I'm going to use a skin color, but I like the shape. I like how the lines work. Command Z to uncut to me. Meet you in the next video. Trace your face and then come back to video 3. Thanks for watching. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost let you go. If you do use the fluid brush tool, just know whenever you're working with the line, you use your tool here to pull out that using those tools, remember they're fills, so they don't work quite the same way. So if you're having issues, I do really recommend using the the pencil tool, the classic brush tool, the pen tool, or tool, just because those are actually working with strokes. All right, I'll meet you in the next video. Okay, thanks.